All right, good morning, boys. It is so nice to have you. We're live on the Aired Out podcast from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street in Barre. And I say boys because we got two handsome guys sitting right next to me this morning on this delightful Tuesday morning. Paul White, chair of the Barre Town Selectboard, and, of course, what's your name again? Cody Morrison.
Yep.
From Barre Area Development.
Haven't changed it.
How are you, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. It's a nice sunny Tuesday.
In all of the time I've known you, for some reason, I'm not sure why, your hair hasn't grown at all.
No.
Have you noticed that, Paul?
I hadn't until you just pointed it out.
I mean, it's never changed at all. It's the exact same length.
You know what
Same hair too.
I bet he has a Flowbee at home.
He's
I'm caught. I've been caught.
he's I'm actually jealous of Cody because he's got the hair that I want. Just the simple, and it's done. You don't have to worry about anything.
You know, this hair has got me far in life.
Is it?
Yep, it's got me far in life. Got me in a lot of trouble too.
We have sunshine. It is going to be a beauty today. A few clouds later this afternoon, but 75. Clear tonight, 50 to 55. And then sunshine mixed with some high clouds tomorrow, a little warmer, upper 70s to near 80. Today's National Flag Day, guys.
That's right. It is Flag Day.
Didn't know if you knew that.
Happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day. The current American flag designed by a high school student from Ohio. And I actually have the video of all of this, how this happened, who created the flag and when and all that. It was Betty Ross that was doing the sewing, I think, though. Right?
I thought you were about to say I have the video of it actually happening.
No.
I was about to. I was about to fact check it in real time because I don't think we had cameras back then.
No.
But what do I know?
We now have a gallon of regular gas, an average nationwide, according to AAA, $5, and 30% of gas stations nationwide already more than $5 a gallon, and 10% of the gas stations in America are hovering right around $5.75 a gallon right now. So this weekend, it kind of spiked a little bit as we now are well into officially summertime, which was Memorial Day. So.
Diesel's going down a little bit, though. I'm paying $6.09 a gallon now instead of $6.29.
Wow.
609. We stopped at a Irving station off the interstate over the weekend. It was $5.19 in New Hampshire. So Hooksett is where we were. So anyway.
Oh, yeah. So you got off the highway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always higher
still,
there.
though,
It's always higher there, though.
Well, that's true.
For tourists like you.
Yeah, well, but still, though, $5.19. Oh, my God. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hurt. Paul, good morning to you, buddy. How are you? It
Morning.
Feels,
Good, JD.
It feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. What's happening over in Barre Town? We're going to talk about what's coming to Wall Street, but what's happening over in Barre Town? What's new?
What's happened in Barre Town? Well, there's a lot happening. We
Understatement.
we had our as I'm sure I've told you over and over again. We don't have our town meeting in March like pretty much every other community in Vermont. We have ours on the second Tuesday in May.
Yep.
So we just had elections and had our budget approved on May 10th. So we're still pretty new in the new fiscal, or not fiscal year, but the new government year, I guess you'd call it. So the elections were May 10th. There were no big surprises, no contested races.
Okay.
So the following week, May 17th, we do our reorganization, and I did, for better or for worse, I did get reappointed as chair, so you're stuck with me again for another year.
Here we go.
And then the following week, we do all of our appointments and reappointments to the various boards and committees and commissions. So the whole month of May really is administrative stuff for the most part. But, the big topics are, of course, that our town manager's retiring come end of January-ish.
Yes.
So we are starting up the process of searching for a new town manager. we are advertising for the new rec room. We can go back and talk about any of these that you want, but I'll lay them all out there. Searching for a town manager. We're recruiting for a new position of recreation director.
Yeah, I heard about that from
the town's never had before.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's cool.
And then, of course,
and needed.
And needed. Our recreational facilities have grown tremendously over the last couple of decades.
Big time.
It's more than just the town manager's office can keep up with.
Yeah, sure.
And then, of course, ARPA, figuring out where we're going to spend the ARPA funds.
Oh, the ARPA fight.
It's always the ARPA.
Huh.
Hasn't been a fight as yet, anyway.
Good.
But, there will be some discussions. There's been a lot of discussions. I don't know where you want to start.
Healthy discussions?
Healthy discussions.
So what is a rec director going to do? That just seems like a fun job. The recreation facilities in Barre Town are awesome.
Yep. So the recreation director will be, a lot of people have asked the question, is that going to be a full-time job? And the answer is yes. It is going to be a full-time, 12-month out of the year job. During the summertime, they will be, of course, more active outdoors. They'll be supervising and working with the maintenance crew, keeping the mowing and the trimming and all the that recreational facility requires a lot of maintenance. From the dugouts at the baseball fields to the skate park,
dropping the chalk lines, and
painting lines
everything
on fields and moving bases when you switch from a softball game to a baseball game, and there's a lot of work up there. So
Sure.
the summertime will be active outdoors.
Yeah.
We expect it in the wintertime. They will be grant writing, doing programming, coming up with new recreational ideas for the coming season, and things like scheduling the use of the different facilities, and
Sure.
a lot of work involved.
Yeah.
And currently we have I think it's 7-member recreation board, which is all volunteers.
Yeah.
And they're responsible for the programming, and they end up picking up a lot of even though they're not paid staff, they end up picking up a lot of the, like somebody needs to go up and unlock the gate in the morning to let the softball players in, or things like that. It's so they end up doing a lot of that stuff, and of course the ultimate responsibility falls on Carl's desk, town manager.
Yeah.
So the new rec director will hopefully take a lot off Carl's desk.
Yeah.
And allow the volunteer board to focus more on programming.
And kudos to Dave Rouleau and Stacy Lyons for having that outdoor movie night up there a little while ago. We were up there and enjoying that. The popcorn and the Boy Scouts were there.
I heard it was windy.
It was a little windy. It was cold too. It was cold, but it was just such a great night to watch a movie under the stars up there.
Yeah. So they're planning. I don't know what the next movie is going to be, but they have picked a date in July. They're going to do that again.
Great. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on up there, and there's events too. Washington County Mental Health. They just had their 5K run and walk up there, their color run, and their Chuck a Chick fundraiser. We've got the Travis Mercy skate park up there. We've got the dog park.
Yep. A lot of places like Washington County Mental Health are starting to use that for employee functions like Vermont Butter and Cheese or Vermont Creamery, whatever they're called now. They are having a big employee day there coming up in August. So it's a great facility.
We're so lucky. We're so blessed, all of us, no matter where we are in Washington County, to be able to have that spot up there for so many different reasons. I mean, just the track alone is great.
Yep, my sister lives in Calais, and she comes up here to play pickleball. And she's
pickleball.
always thanking me. Hey, thanks for having such a great pickleball court up there.
Have you seen Rouleau play pickleball?
I have not.
Oh my God!
There were a couple times last summer when I was coming home. I'd be coming back from a late meeting, and I would be driving through Websterville, and I'd see the lights over at the softball field on. I'm thinking like 9 o'clock at night. There are a couple times like I stopped in and watched like a slow pitch softball game. It's cool.
I can see the lights from my house, and every night I let the dogs out before I go to bed. And it's like, man, the lights are on still.
There's no fooling around. There's no fooling around with those pickleball players. They get serious.
No, they take it.
Oh,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, and I've looked at some of them, and I've said, "Can you say pickleball with a straight face?" But they do.
I'm probably not far from being able to see those lights from East Barre, from my apartment over there. I know I can hear the cars from Thunder Road. Every night, which that's pretty cool. Like you have to listen closely.
Any ice? I have to ask you because this is important, and we're already being asked this morning. Ice cream socials. Any of that happening this summer?
Well, I wasn't at the rec board, but I just read the minutes for their last meeting, and they are They are planning to have ice cream socials. I don't know exactly what they're going to look like this year.
Okay.
Those are a lot of work.
Yes, they are.
A lot of planning because
Yes.
they've tried to hit every one of the neighborhood parks on a different night.
Yeah.
And it's getting somebody to donate the ice cream and the cups.
Right, of course.
And scheduling and then staffing it.
Yep.
But yeah, I just read from their minutes of their last meeting that they are planning to do that. A couple new people are stepping up to take responsibility for it, so
Right.
it might look a little different, but the concept's the same.
However,
go ahead.
so in regards to ice cream, you have the ice cream truck that drives around. So
Yes.
a lot of random nights during the summer, I'll be sitting on the couch or something, and I'll hear
Ding dong, ding dong.
and they'll go all throughout
Yeah.
Barre Town. It's
Sure.
awesome.
I can still, now that I'm in my 30s, I can hear that ice cream truck dinging from
Really?
hundreds of miles
Really,
away.
30s.
Yeah, 30s.
I still
All right.
whenever I hear I still wonder okay, am I hallucinating? Am I hearing?
Yes.
Am I hearing anything? Because it's something that you just don't really see in too many communities.
Right. What about the dog park? I know we need some more volunteers up there. We need more people
Yeah.
to step up and help out. And at the absolute minimum, please clean up after yourself if you go up there. But we're always looking for folks to help and do a little weed whacking or maintenance up there.
Yeah, the dog park's kind of a unique entity. It's on the town property. It's on the part of the rec area.
Yes.
So it's on town-owned property, but it's totally the fundraising is all done by volunteers. The maintenance is all done by volunteers. They do get some assistance from town staff occasionally when they need it, but for the most part, it's all done by the dog park volunteers.
What about, there's always kind of like a little fall festival or something that normally happens up there, I think, in right around September-ish. We don't know.
I don't have any information on that.
All right. But what a great area, though. I mean, you get up there, you flip the lights on, you can play tennis on a nice summer night. I mean,
Basketball, volleyball,
everything.
Baseball, softball. If whoever's with you doesn't want to play, they can run on the track.
Cody, jump in here. Obviously, at any point, grab the wheel. But so you're going to be chair again?
Yeah, of the select board, yeah.
What concerns do you have? What changes would you love to see made?
I don't know that I necessarily want to see changes. My biggest concern for the coming year is finding the right person to take over from Carl as town manager.
Okay.
Carl's been there 30 years. And there's nothing about that town that he doesn't have locked away up here, and a lot of that knowledge is going to go out the door with him. So we want to do it right the first time and find the right person for that job and get him in place in time to have a little bit of an overlap with Carl.
Now, where's Carl going to go? What's he going to do? Buying a yacht? Fishing? Where's he going?
Yeah, I think he's going to be off the coast of Pennsylvania somewhere.
Okay.
I think he's still trying to figure that out, and that's probably the beauty.
I don't think he has any. He doesn't have a. He's given us a rough idea of I plan to retire at the end of January-ish.
Yeah.
So I mean he doesn't. It's not like he's picking up and moving to Timbuktu, but.
And if he stays close by with all that knowledge, he may have to shave his head and change his name if he's going to be close by, right?
Or get a Cody haircut.
Okay.
Well, the great thing about that is you actually don't have to get it. It grows to a certain length and it stays there. It's kind of like AstroTurf. It stays there forever.
Chia pet.
I thought it was like remember George Jetson?
Yes.
Thing comes down over the head.
Cody, we're hammering on you, bud. This is all great stuff. Where do we how many people do we have that we're looking at to replace Carl?
Well, for now, one.
Okay.
As you know, we had an assistant town manager.
Yep.
Elaine Wang left. She got an opportunity to be the city manager in Winooski.
Sure.
And so she left back in end of April, I believe. And so that was the question. Do we look for a replacement for Elaine prior to looking for a new town manager, or do we wait, hire the manager, and let the manager hire his or her own assistant? So we opted to not hire an assistant at this time. We're just focusing on looking for the new town manager, and then once that person is on the ground and really gets a feel for the town, they can decide what or if they need for an assistant.
All right. Chief Dodge was just in here not too long ago on Aired Out. What's one of the things we talked about is that there's just not a whole heck of a lot of people trying to get into law enforcement these days,
No.
and you know that being in law enforcement yourself for so long. How's the health of the police department, Barre Town?
Well, the health is good. I mean, like any department, they could always use more. They currently have one officer who's deployed with the National Guard, so
Yep.
he's gone for a little while, but he'll be back. And then in addition to the deployment, they do have one vacancy,
Yep.
one full-time vacancy that we're recruiting for. And you're right, they advertised for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and they got 0 applications. So you're right, nobody wants to get into the field of law enforcement today.
It's too bad,
But
because
all
there's
in
great
all-
opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, is the department right-sized? I guess I'm not sure. We maybe need to study that, but they're carrying one vacancy and then one deployment.
Right. What else? What else do we have? Things that you want to make sure that we're hitting today.
Town forest. We're speaking about recreation.
yeah.
Part of that's the town
Wow.
forests.
How could we forget?
Yeah. So the town forest is a little over or about 10 years old. And when it was created, there, of course, is a management plan for that. There's a conservation easement through the Vermont Land Trust, and then there's a forest management plan that has to work with that easement. It basically lays out what can and cannot be done in the forest. And that plan has a requirement that it be revisited at the 10-year anniversary, which is coming up in February of next year. So we're in the process of recruiting for town residents to sit on a committee to take a look at the current management plan and come back with recommendations on how it should be tweaked, what needs to be added, what should be erased, what's worked well over the last decade, what hasn't.
And when we say the town forest, help me out here.
Millstone
It's
Trails.
Millstone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Millstone, where the Millstone Trails is, the disc golf course,
Yes.
that whole wooded area.
So
Yeah.
the rec director is going to have all the parks, the town forest, probably snowmobile trails. I mean, if it was winter, I would definitely get involved with the snowmobile.
that whole rec facility up there, all the neighborhood parks.
So they'll probably have a
It's-
couple boards to be on up there.
Yes.
Snowmobile Club, Millstone Trails.
Sure. Yeah.
They're
A
gonna
lot
have
of
their
work,
handful.
too.
That's definitely
Yeah.
a full time.
Yeah.
Definitely a full time
A lot of work.
position.
Right.
Yes.
And having that person there will take a lot of burden off the new town manager.
Sure.
That'd be a fun job.
Yeah.
Just hang out with the trails all day.
We're taking
like,
applications.
that'd be.
Taking applications. But it's such a stellar area. I mean, the hiking, the mountain biking is just unbelievable. I mean,
People come from
everywhere.
all over the place,
New
all over the
Hampshire.
Northeast
Yeah.
to come ride those trails.
Yeah, they do. And the disc golf is unbelievable, too.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to find a disc golf course like that?
And the rec board was just talking last week about the fact that that parking lot, the main parking lot for the town forest up on Brook Street in Websterville, you can't get in there on the weekends. They're overflow parking out on the street, and they need to put in another parking area. Which it's good. It's great that people are taking advantage of the resource.
Yeah.
But of course, the more people that do, it's nice to be able to go for a walk on those trails and be alone.
Yeah.
And not run into 100 people. So.
What I like about that area is that there always seems to be something going on that's spread out through the year. I mean, one of the things during the winter is that art fire or fire art
Rock
or whatever.
fire.
Rock fire.
Yeah.
And that's. Have you been to that, Cody?
No. I was away last year when that happened.
So cool. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and that is happening again this year, but it's only going to be one day. It used to be, I forget, a Friday night and a Saturday, or
Yeah.
a Saturday night and a Sunday. It's only going to be one day this year.
Yeah.
They're still sort of rebuilding after COVID, but
One thing I feel like this rec director is going to hear about, which I've heard about, Elaine's heard about, I'm sure you've all heard about, is rock climbing in the quarries.
yeah.
They'll have to have their auto response. They'll have to
Yeah.
have their elevator pitch for that ready.
I expect there will be a lot of things that, well, I was hit up a couple weeks ago, people asking about, well, what about ATV trails? We have snowmobile trails. What about ATV trails?
Michael Booton's asking about the ATV
There he
trails
is.
right now.
He might have been the one that asked me about it before. And so, there will be some uses that have been taking place that people may want to see stop, like logging. That was a big hot button issue last year. And then there are other uses that are currently prohibited that I'm sure some people will want to see added. So this committee will have their work cut out for them to study the current plan, decide or make recommendations for change, and have that to us by February 1st. So.
The Quarry project too, which is something that Cody and I have discussed, which is such a unique summertime.
You talking the dance?
Yeah. Isn't the final performance in August, I think?
I'm afraid I lost track. They had come to us with that back before COVID, and we had sort of given it our tentative approval, and then COVID hit, and we didn't hear anything more about it. So I'm not sure what their schedule is.
I'll screw this up, so I'll let Cody describe it. But it's basically art, dance, theater
on a floating platform.
In
a quarry.
The Quarry Project is a site-specific dance/theater piece created for the Wells Lampson Quarry, one of the oldest, deepest granite quarries in the country, now flooded and in reserve. After a 2-year postponement, performances will take place August 5th to the 21st.
There you go.
August 5th.
And that is all recited from memory and definitely not reading from their website word for word.
Never. August 5 through 21, you can come and see something. Where the hell are you going to see something like that?
In a quarry.
In a quarry.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the granite capital of the world.
Thank you. In Barre Town. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I just remember last summer driving through and just randomly seeing like what looked like a big platform, like a pontoon boat with people out there.
Sure.
I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know you could do that. I've always heard of people swimming down there, but
there's a lot happening in Barre Town. A lot. So, how about are we all? I know someone is going to kick me here, but are we all good with the whole property tax kerfuffle?
The reappraisal.
Deep breath.
Yeah. It's not for 99% of the properties. It's done.
Okay.
We did have 3 or 4 appeals.
Yeah.
out of what, 1,500?
Out of however many parcels there are in the town.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good odds there.
Yeah.
And what was the official town meeting day again? May what?
May 10th.
May 10th.
Yes.
All right.
That was I spoke to Tina Lunt, I don't want to say new. She's not the new town.
She's
clerk,
been in office for over a year. Yeah.
But yeah, she
just had her first anniversary.
Yep, she just had her first anniversary. Tina was telling me there was 80 to 100 maybe walk-ins throughout the day, and most of the votes were absentee.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have our town meeting in May, mainly because our town charter says we have to. Mm-hmm. But what I'm told is the logic behind it is by having it that much later, you have that much more of the current fiscal year in the books, so that for budgeting purposes, you get a better picture of where the finances are when setting the budget for the coming year. Mm-hmm. The downside that I struggle with is we get extremely low turnout. When every other town in the state's having their town meeting on the first Tuesday of March, and we have ours on the second Tuesday in May, people just don't come out. They either vote absentee or they don't vote. I mean, you've got your hardcore people that always vote, that will always come out. But, like this year, there were no contested races. The budget was not particularly problematic.
How long has it been in May for town meeting day in Barre Town?
Probably.
Long time.
Since the town charter was drafted, which I would guess is in the 70s.
Okay. It's a busy time of year. People are distracted. Yeah. They're getting their boats in. They're setting up their campers. Right.
And it's town meeting day was in March. I forgot. I thought we were done with that stuff.
Exactly.
For this year. Right.
Exactly.
And the school vote, the school budget vote, and the school directors are elected in March.
Yeah.
So then we turn around and vote on town issues in May. So it's
unless you have a town clerk or some hot issue coming up,
some big select board race.
Do you get involved with the school board?
No, very little.
Yeah.
They come when was it? Back right before town meeting day, the state town meeting day. The superintendent and the school board chair came to give a presentation to us on the budget, which they do annually. But other than that, we really don't have a lot of interaction with the school board.
Okay. Cody.
JD.
Let's talk about Barre City or anything you want to talk about. Barre Business Hours, what we call it. And we've got maybe one or two more, I think, before Cody's great
Before
departure.
I apply for the rec director position.
Don't start making rumors, man.
So we did get a bit of news yesterday regarding our earmarks.
Yeah.
We had our board meeting yesterday, and I was sitting in a room with you, some of our board members, the city manager, and I just on a whim, I happened to be looking up our members of our congressional delegation, looking up their website. Now the information is publicly available as to which projects got forwarded from Senate and congressional offices to appropriations committees in Congress. So what that means is we knew about the Barre Auditorium project for almost $3.5 million. That was forwarded down. We talked about that last week. So that's still alive. But we found out yesterday that $2.2 million for the Route 302 water main project. That got forwarded, made it out of Sanders' office, and $760,000 for the wastewater digester cover. That's the thing that would get rid of the smell in the north end. That made it through the first hurdle. So now it's in the black hole, the spiraling black hole of the appropriations process in the Senate. But those projects, if they were to get fully funded, that would relocate the main water line coming from the Orange Reservoir that currently runs under the East Barre Dam.
Which is about 100 years old.
Yeah, I think that was a New Deal project, actually.
Yeah. Right.
But the current line runs under there and runs, I think, like along the brook, along 302, I think.
Yeah.
So if there are leaks there, I mean, it's a 100-plus-year-old system, I'm assuming. When there are leaks, like in the springtime during mud season, making repairs is relatively, I mean, I'm not a civil engineer, but pretty impossible.
Yeah.
So what that would do would make our water systems, our primary public water drinking water systems for Barre Town and Barre City, more modern, a little more accessible, and a little more reliable. So it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but I do like being able to turn on my faucet and get clean, reliable.
So that means everybody's water bill is going to be cut in half.
Yeah. No, it doesn't mean that.
Once this new line goes in.
No, it doesn't mean that. No, it means that our stuff is less likely to break, and when it does, it's going to be a lot easier to fix, and they're just going to be newer, more modern systems there in place. I think the size of the pipes also, I think the diameter also gets a little bigger. But a lot of these water systems all throughout the Northeast are just old and brittle. Yeah. So this would be an example of the federal government being more of an active partner, as they should be, in maintaining this infrastructure. But that would be a huge shot in the arm for the region, and also the digester cover, that big thing that would make the north end not smell anymore. That would get replaced. And that would, the Public Works Department here has told me that they've got complaints as far as about the four-way intersection up here, so like 0.9 miles away, and they've got complaints from Richardson Road, just over the Barre Town line. Sure. So that'll get rid of that, and that'll actually open the door for more outdoor events at the Granite Museum. So in the summer, if it smells like sulfur or eggs down there,
good way to look at it.
Yeah, so that'll help with our tourism industry.
Of course.
So
in a great place for an amazing place for a wedding, and I've been to
absolutely
many. Not many, but I've been to several, and I've been to many events there. So it's important.
And it's another opportunity, more events like that happen, more the more that Barre is able to brag about our granite industry to the outside world, and that's what we want to see. We want more people to be interested in it. With their Stone Art School, they're earmarked for about $300,000. That made it through the first hurdle and is now in the Senate appropriations too. That's another one that's exciting. So they would not only be able to host outdoor weddings, but they'd have a bigger, more modern facility for job training for the stone trades. So
Cool.
So fingers crossed. Let's hope the federal budget doesn't get held hostage over a tweet or something crazy. But
So two main projects, two main earmarks, right?
three.
Three.
Okay. Yeah. So I was 0 for 2 with Welch. 0 for 3 with Welch. 0 for 2 with Leahy, but 3 for 3 with Sanders. So if I'm playing baseball, I'm back.
But
in
Route
I'm
302,
getting a contract.
Route 302 water main, the wastewater digester cover, and then what's the other
Auditorium.
one? The auditorium.
Yep. So in total, that would bring over 6 million, 6.4 million, or something like that.
How much is earmarked for the odd?
3.41 million.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very exciting. Hopefully, not the two water projects are again not the sexiest things in the world,
Sure.
but
So
everyone
needed,
everyone
though.
likes being able to use their facilities in their home. Like even the drinking water in this building right here, over in City Hall, up in the Selectboard. I'm assuming you guys are on public water up there.
Up there, we are not on city water. So the town has a number of residents that are what they call direct bill customers that are directly on the city water system, even though they live in the town. And the town also purchases water in bulk from the city when we need to. But the town actually maintains two water systems of its own.
There's the Graniteville. What
There's-
was it called? The firehouse? Or?
There's the Barre Town water system, which is sort of an accumulation of smaller fire districts that
Yes.
that went away in the past, and then we recently took over the Websterville Fire District. And there's at some time there is still one remaining fire district in Graniteville. Sometime in the future they may decide to ask the town to take them over, but so far they're still independent.
So who owns that fire district?
The members of the district.
So it's kind of like a co-op.
Yes, exactly.
Has it been amazing to work with this fella, or what, Paul?
It has. Sad to see him go.
He's got his thumb on two cities,
Yeah.
and all of the intricacies involved with both.
But it's easy though because it's one
God.
community.
Right.
Well,
It's not like I have Montpelier and Barre that
Right.
are two really different.
Right. Before Cody came, Barre Area Development was always this sort of line item in the budgets, like Barre Area Development wants another $40,000. What? Who are they, and what do they do for us?
Yeah.
And then Cody arrived, and it's like
we all know.
we all know what's going on now.
We all know what Barre Area Development does. This guy's he's just got such a beat on what's happening, and frankly, I might even say is somewhat of a geek with all of this, and I might even go as far as saying he kind of needs to get a life, because this guy, even on the weekends, even when he's technically off the clock, he's constantly thinking.
Right.
And chatting with people.
I know. I'm trying to think. What am I going to talk to JD about on Monday?
Yeah, that's what he spends the whole weekend.
The weekend.
I have to wake up early, talk to JD. What am I going to talk to this clown about this week?
But seriously though, it's like he's always communicating with people, no matter what time of day or night or what day of the week it is. Sundays, whatever, and he's grant writing. I mean, he's an animal.
And you talk to anybody who has anything to do with downtown, business owners or whatever, and
there,
it's kind of like Prince, Cher,
Yes.
Cody.
Thank you.
One name.
Wow.
That's getting the bell right there.
I've reached that level in life.
Yes, you have.
I have one
You're
name.
right up there.
I have one name. Now I need the perm and
I might call
all
it.
all the other things that go along with my newfound fame.
Hey, he came up with that. I had nothing to do with that.
Well,
That was all Paul White.
if the select board chair is thinking it, then half the town is thinking it.
Yes.
I mean, he is the big cheese up
Finger
there.
on the pulse. Yeah. Yep.
So when's the next board meeting for you, Paul?
Tonight. We meet every Tuesday. We quite often in the summertime will go to an every other week schedule. We have not decided yet which Tuesdays we're going to take off this summer.
Okay.
But yeah, we meet every Tuesday. for the most
Public?
part.
Are they
Oh, yeah.
invited?
Yep.
Always.
6 o'clock. We do like any public board, we do have executive sessions at the end, more often than I would like, unfortunately, but it is a busy town and there's a lot going on that
Sure.
we have to, like, for example, if you've noticed recently, we've had a lot of executive sessions for personnel. And, a lot of that is because we're not really ready to go public yet with the plans for the town manager search.
Sure.
What exactly that search is going to look like, what
Yeah.
the committee is going to look like. So a lot of those discussions are behind closed doors, but that's at the very end of the meeting. Public's always welcome to the majority of it.
Well, I hope we didn't leak anything here today.
Yeah.
Or actually,
Nope.
I hope we did. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But will you stay in touch with me though, and
Yeah.
and throughout, and let me know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, we should be making an announcement pretty soon about what the search committee is going to look like, what the process is going to look like, who's going to be on the committee. I would say, in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Because
Imagine
we
that.
need to start.
Barre City and Barre Town,
Yes.
both
Under new management.
new city managers, and both of them are going to have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll get to know each other very quickly.
Yes.
Oh,
The
yes.
two.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting
is.
times, though.
It
But
is.
Inherently, though, Vermonters, let's just be honest, we really don't love change.
That's true.
We like our old shitty boots and our old
Right.
pickup truck that doesn't work half the time. But at the same time, though, I mean, come on, man, we're trying to get out of this pandemic. It's
Right.
2022. There are things that are happening in this world around us and in bordering states, and our economy is hopefully on the upswing here.
Right.
Inflation, everything. I mean, Cody and I are constantly talking about workforce and just
Yeah, well, that's
labor shortage.
a concern, and we're talking about the town manager search. That's why we really want to get moving on this. Is my fear is we're going to advertise, go through the whole process, and either A, don't find the right candidate, or B, we find them and they can't find a place to live.
Isn't that amazing?
Luckily, I had Mark Browning on our board.
Yeah.
And he was able to help us
Yeah.
me get an apartment right
Right.
away. But if you're, and town manager will probably have a similar experience.
Right.
The select board is
Sure.
surely going to be very proactive. You guys are probably going to be very proactive about trying to find some accommodations for the person. But I couldn't imagine if I'm
Barre
moving
City
up.
manager.
if
Barre
I-
City manager, too.
I couldn't imagine moving up for a job at Vermont Creamery or any Rock of Ages. or
Right.
Just a position that's not in the public light, just a normal 9-to-5 or manufacturing job, and not having that network that would be able
Right.
to help you out. One thing you're starting to see more are schools and companies, hospitals, taking an actual equity position in the housing market. So some of them are actually buying up houses
Yeah.
and
Isn't that amazing?
and earmarking them for workforce housing.
Wow.
So, is that something that Rock of Ages or
There was a story about that on the news. Just I don't remember who the company was, but
yeah,
it was.
I remember seeing something recently.
But they were building housing. The employer building housing for their workforce.
Wouldn't be
Wow.
surprised to see something like right around the industrial park, a couple companies going buy some house there that comes on the market, and but that's the creativity that attracting talent is no longer just having a wordsmith go through your job description and your job posting and paying the right amount of money.
Right.
It's
We-
it's not just
we-
quality of life factors now too. It's there are a lot of childcare ramifications, housing.
That's right. And I mentioned our Barre City police chief, but the list goes on. I mean, Chris Hennessy is quite concerned about this as well. I mean, he's got so many vacancies. He's got to fill 5 schools with staff.
Right.
Well, one thing that that can also be an issue as well is if you have any families come in that are Montessori families that typically send their kids to Montessori schools. They may be pre-existing Montessori families, or they may see that they have childcare over there, so they may think, oh, okay, I can at least block off half of my day if I go through this school. They have capacity issues right now, and they have we've been working with them over the last year to try to identify funding to expand their facility so that they can take on a bigger. They can have more children in their classrooms. They can have more infant, pre-K, school-age children in their walls.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else that I can hit you guys up for? Is there anything else we're forgetting?
Vermont Country Bobbin.
Yes, on Wall Street.
They've relocated down to 131 South Main Street, the Wall Street building. Mm-hmm. It's that big horseshoe-shaped building that's right next to the
it's the old Sprague Electric
Northfield
plant.
Savings Bank.
Yeah. Yep.
Northfield Savings Bank. Yep. And they have closed their Berlin Mall and and University Mall locations, and they are now fully in that location.
I forgot about the U Mall. Yeah.
They used to be right in the corner over there.
Yeah, I forgot.
So they did some storage there for quite a while. So it seems like, I'm not sure if they're changing their business model or if they're going all in for Barre, but they're located over there now. So that'll provide another nice retail option for a little while.
Yeah, of course.
Very nice.
Good stuff. Thank you, boys.
Yeah.
Ever
Thank you,
so much. Anything else, Cody?
No.
So we'll see you again. I don't know when and where, but you're going to be on. You're going to be sharing a mic with us, at least one more.
I have to kick you one more time.
Good. I hope you do. Just seeing this morning that stocks plunged again yesterday, officially pushing the S&P 500 into bear market territory. Stocks closed down about 20% or more from their most recent high. So, I'm just seeing this now. Let's see, what else do we have? Severe flooding shutting down Yellowstone National Park this morning, leaving many people trapped and without safe drinking water. That's a developing story this morning. So we've got these and more that we'll post up on Facebook here in just a little bit. But yes, always live, never edited, always local, real, raw, relevant, relatable, responsible. We appreciate your eyes and your ears. And thanks to Paul White and Cody Morrison this morning, the Barre Business Hour, normally on Mondays, but we were able to get them in today, on Tuesday. So there you have it. Don't forget, we got a beautiful day ahead today. Great project weather if you're going to be out and about doing your thing. Sunshine and maybe a few clouds later this afternoon, but 75 degrees. Going to be perfect. You've got the Aired Out Podcast live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions, Main Street, Barre, Vermont. Thanks so much for watching.